Okay, so let's look at Blackboard. Spring 2020, that's our semester. These are the classes I'm teaching. Obviously, they look different than yours. So I don't have any integrated reading and writing courses on my docket. I do have Foundations, World Lit, Comp 1. Of course, they're all tailored to each specific class. Closest thing to yours is Foundations. Although it's not the same assignments, it's going to make a pretty good comparison. So, usually on my browser, when the home page loads, it doesn't load the tab unless you pull it over with that arrow there. So, I just kind of hover there on the edge, it gives me the arrow, and then it pulls out your tabs. And that's how I like to navigate Blackboard. At the very top, we have Section 1 of Ding 0301. Got the course number. If you want to change that and hop to a different course quickly without having to go back to your My Lamar homepage, if you click there on the upper left-hand corner, it'll have all your recently visited pages, your other courses, and you can navigate from there. And remember, nothing's going to happen in terms of you changing anything if your edit mode is off. Right now mine is off. Just hover over it, click. It'll load on edit, which means you can make changes, and they will be saved and applied to the course. Now, mine looks a little weird at the moment because I'm just following a bit of Rosella's advice and customizing things. So I just customized by going to teaching style and changing colors and fonts and things like that, which it might be a little distracting on second thought, so I might change some things back. But whatever you don't want to do or have second thoughts about, you can always cancel, and it'll just take you out of it. Let's stay focused on the content, though, right? Say you want to assign a writing assignment here in Blackboard that your students can easily upload and that you can easily grade. Go to Content. Well, let's start at the beginning. Homepage. There you go. It's the first thing you see when the page loads. My announcements. Remember, your edit mode is on. If you want the student view, and you're done changing your settings, of course, go ahead and click off. That way it shows you what the students see. You can hide things from the students, stuff you want to keep offline until, say, you reach that unit. You don't want to load everything up so that they're looking at stuff a month from now. You want to keep them focused on the current task. You can always change those settings when you're fine-tuning things. But for now, let's just look at the meat and potatoes, just to get some stuff on here and get them working. Your announcements, if you want more announcements, you can look at them in a list format. Here's my latest one, discussing what we're up to this week. And it goes from most recent to the first ones at the very beginning of the semester. Welcome, back in January. Oh, remember January? Hard to believe any of this could have happened when we were starting in January. But here we are. So, if you want to create an announcement, there's your tab. Subject, message, you're familiar. Nothing's going to happen unless you click submit. That's what saves it. And, the farther down you scroll with any of these assignments or announcements or anything like that, you're going to find different options that you can click or not click. Cancel. But when you're ready to create an announcement, just submit it and it'll pop up. And they'll be able to see it too. So from there, by the way, my homepage, I've pretty much taken everything off except the announcements. My students know to go to content. The default Blackboard page has a lot of stuff that you can use. You can customize it however you like. I decided to customize it by taking away a bunch of stuff that I found distracting. I don't really want them to have a bunch of, a really busy homepage. I want them to have the announcements front and center, navigate using the tabs. That's just me. Again, you're the teacher. You can customize it however you like. I have the syllabus copied and posted right there. It's linked to the Lamar PA online syllabi, the 2504 homepage, basically. And so I just go to that particular section syllabus, copy the link, and put it in there. So if you want to, from there you can rename the link, hide it, whatever. That's just where I happen to put mine. I like to put it right there below the home page. And then content, that's where I keep all my stuff. All the assignments, tests, handouts, links, whatever you happen to want them to look at. You can just have straight up and down. With the Foundations course, it's a little more simple. So it's just really a collection of writing assignments. That's what we've been doing online. That plus I've been putting some handouts together, but that's been on paper. I haven't really posted those online yet. Of course, now I'm going to have to. But, I basically used the Foundations Blackboard for submitting paragraphs and writing assignments. But you can do anything you want. Build content. You can add a file, a video. If you find a video that you think your student should watch or that you think might help, you can copy that link. An image, audio. Either you're uploading files from your computer or you're copying and pasting a URL, to create a web link. Or if you want to separate things into folders or modules, you can certainly do that. With my composition courses and literature courses, they're full of folders because there's a lot more stuff there. Each unit or each, text that we're discussing is going to have its own folder with lots of different stuff inside that folder. So, if you want, you can separate each unit into its own folder, or you can just have a collection of assignments one after another, however you see fit. And you can manipulate how they look and where they're ordered on the page. If you come over here and hover on the left-hand side, you can drag them up, drag them down, move them to decide which one is on top. And that's only going to happen, though, if you're in that edit mode on position. So say you want to add a writing assignment. You want to create an essay that your students can submit. Click Create Assignment. Name it. Give instructions here. And then, that's where you can lay out, say, a sentence or two, giving them the parameters of the assignment, what you expect, when you expect it, that sort of thing. If you have additional stuff that you want to upload right here in the assignment, you can do that. But I usually don't upload anything on this particular assignment. I'll put a folder together for an essay or for a project. And that folder might have web links. It might have a PowerPoint. It might have files and handouts, practice stuff, and then at the very end or the very bottom of that folder, I'll have the actual assignment here. Put a due date on it. Let's just create one. Say, we talked about the idea of you replacing one of your tests with an essay or all of your tests with essays. I think I brought that idea up, but again, it's not something you have to do. This is all up to you, how you decide to create content for the remainder of the course. So, say test 3 essay. If instead of worrying about collecting grades for that test and setting up a due date and making sure they're all on the up and up while they take it, making sure they're passing on their assignments, all that stuff that meant so much to us when we were teaching on face-to-face. But, this is good practice for what I think is eventually going to happen, which is, online developmental classes, which Michelle seems she's very stubborn about the idea of face-to-face developmental, but, I think most colleges are going to this, offering both online and face-to-face. It's just inevitable. It's the change is coming, whether we like it or not. So this is good practice for that. Test 3 essay, create a 500-word essay, multi-paragraph, concerning the major themes or the major lessons in Unit 3. That's just an idea. I'll let you decide how you want to present it. Or if you want to just create, a comparison contrast essay or an argument essay or whatever, or how are you handling the quarantine essay. That's up to you. Due date, just manipulate it however you like. If you want them to turn something in by midnight of a certain day, go ahead and put 11:59. Whoops. Sorry. 11:59 p.m. It won't give you that option over here, but if you click on that button to the right, it'll give you half-hour increments for, most times. Although with midnight, I'm never sure if it's midnight the night before or midnight the night after. So, in order to avoid any confusion, I always put 11:59, the last minute of the day that you want it. If you want it on a Friday or a Sunday or something, and you want to give them all day to do it, there you go. Grading, I always put 100 points, just easiest. You can add a rubric. On each of my, I have my standard rubric posted in the content section for most of my classes, especially comp classes. So if you want to add a special rubric for each one, you can do that there. Submission details, grading options, display of grades. I don't usually mess with this one. If you want to save an assignment for later, you want to create it, but you don't want to assign it immediately, you can always click off of here, make the assignment available. That will make it disappear, basically, until you come back and change the setting and add that check. And now the student can see it. Now, it's official. Until you click that box there, though, they won't see it. You can create it, but they'll never see it. Track number of views if you like. That way you can see who's actually paying attention and checking out, looking at it. And then submit from there. And when you do, test 3 essay there at the bottom. So it'll end up at the bottom, but if you want to drag it to the top to make sure they see it, there you go. And then, we're running out of time a bit, but if you go to grades, it's course tools in Grade Center. This control panel down here, kind of like the control panel for MyLabs Plus, just looks a little bit different. If you go to the Grade Center, it gives you a couple of options, Needs Grading or Full Grade Center. Needs Grading is just going to provide a list of all the submissions you've gotten. These are stuff that I've yet to put a grade on, for this particular class. So as they keep submitting grades, you're going to get a list, and you can grade from there. You can just go in, click on that person, click on that student's name, and it will upload that particular submission. And then you can put a grade on it from here, give them some feedback. If you want to give them a short paragraph with notes from there, I know it's hard you can't really mark it up from here, but you can certainly, explain to them what they could do better. And then give them a numerical grade. Click submit. It's graded. And if you go to the Full Grade Center, it'll give you A to Z, each kid. And if you pull this tab over, it will give you the columns. Right now, these are the columns for my class. Each of these paragraphs, these little buttons here, tell you that something needs to be graded. So obviously I have some grading to do. I'm sure you have grading to do and setting up to do. But there's my test 3 essay that's shown up. That's the assignment I've created. So that's where the grades will show up as you grade them. It'll be part of your grade book. And, I'll probably make another video later on showing you how to compile grades and all that stuff once you've got a few. So for now, this should get you set up and going. We'll keep talking over the weeks and figure this thing out together, okay? All right, take care.